Hello. Hi. Welcome. So, welcome to White City Place Connect. We are supplying occupiers of White City Place, a live platform in which to learn and engage in. That's you guys from the safety of your own homes. Welcome back to those who have been to my last 3 lessons, and welcome to any new people. Thanks for joining. I hope everyone's well. I hope the week's gone well, and I hope if you're in the UK, you're enjoying the weather. Welcome to all my friends as well who are joining through my social media. It's lovely, absolutely lovely to have you guys. Yeah. So if you've watched these before, you know what's happening. If you're new, follow along. Be responsible for your own body. Make wise decisions. Go at your own pace. Be sensitive and caring towards yourself. So if it means you need to go a little bit softer when you're moving, do that. If you feel good, go as full out as you want. Yeah. So let's warm up and do some grooves and some movements. Follow along. If you're an experienced dancer, take what I give you and explore. Yes, let's go.
request and popular demand. And your push is my command. I'm used to the shop without a play on the chat. This one bound to make you rap. Whether you white or black, don't say, don't say. Lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Never get it back until the very next day. Me never get it back until the very next day. Me search some kings, come to Montego Bay. Search some kings, come to Montego Bay. Me can't find me girl named Faye. She must have gone with the boss DJ. Cause me no matter what the people of the world may say, but no matter what the people of the world may say, before me go up with me say me know me have to play. She gone with the boss DJ. Come on, she gone with the boss DJ. Cause one L-O-V-E long no, I want K-I-S-S kiss no, I want L-O-V-E love you, I want K-I-S-S kiss you. I woulda give you little love in no job. I woulda give you little love in no job. Because me lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. So me lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Me never get it back until the very next day. Never get it back until the very next day. She gone with the boss DJ. Me take away Carol from Errol. Me take away Sharon from Devon. Me take away Patsy from Ruby. But you make love go and you make love stay. But what I feel no way and you feel it and when me sing. Say all you got to do, you got to follow what you man know. But tell your little girl I'm gonna give you some more. But no matter what they do, they say no matter what they say. Come in, lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Me never get it back until the very next day. But never get it back until the very next day. Me no lost me love up back on Sun Spring. No lost me love up back on Swan Spring. Me take away the Queen from the King. Come on, me take away the Queen from the King. Come on, now all you got to do, you got to do your own thing. Come me, lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Me can't find me girl named Faye. So me can't find me girl named Faye. She must have gone with the boss DJ. Now to me search Kingston down to Montego Bay. Search Kingston down to Montego Bay. Me can't find me girl named Faye. I want L-O-V-E love you. I want K-I-S-S kiss you. Come on, I'm all you got to do. You keep on forward and true. But then you little girl and never turn my back in you. Cause you I love for me say not another. You make a dream but I will never. Lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Me never get it back until the very next day. But no matter what the people may do or say, if me go have it, they see me know me have to play. Me drink soft drink, me no smoke craving. Cause me lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Me take away Carol from Errol. Take away Sharon from Ian. Me take away Millie Jet from Fateh. Because me lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Lost me love up on the Queen's Highway. Say all you got to do, you keep on what you mad on. You tell your little girl I'm gonna love you some more. Say 1, 2, I love you. 3, 4, I'm gonna love you some more. Say 5 and 6, I'm gonna give you my kiss. Cause sugar your coffee and you sugar your tea. You sugar your lips before you give it to me. Cause me lost me love up on the Queen's Highway.
Leading with fingers. So we're leading with our fingers. Leading with the palm of the hand. So how does it change how the rest of your body? Leading with the elbows. Leading with the elbows.
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yes, can I please have a push burger and a packet of grits?
Keine Sekunde, bitte.
Nice. So the last 3 weeks, when it's come to freestyling, we've kind of mostly looked at things outside of us. So we looked at space, how to use space, how to break down the area around you and the area inside your body, to sort of make more, to explore how your movement changes. So how does that movement change when we go in front to the side to the back? We looked at timing, so slowing the movement down, speeding it up. I also gave you homework of finding movement that resonates with you, and then last week I actually gave you homework of finding inspiration in nature, so I hope you all had a little bit of time to do that. And of course it's only natural that this week we look more to the inequality. So we've touched on that a little bit when we spoke about finding the movement or the expression that resonates with us. But let's dive into it a little deeper. So, yeah, it's basically an inequality. There's a lot, obviously, there's so much you could say about it. But I like to think of it, at least when it comes to freestyling, is like sort of like texture. It's like texture, or it's the flavor. It's basically the thing that gives it life. So you're dancing, but of course, whatever's in the inside, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're trying to express, is going to be what translates the most. So basically, when you're moving or when you're dancing, you want the heart, you want the spirit of yourself, you want your mind, and you want your body all moving in sync, you know? So it's a clear path, so it's a clear intention, so it's a clear direction. So for example, if I'm giving you a penguin, then my heart's gonna be focused on that penguin, you know? My mind's gonna be focused on giving you penguin, and quite naturally my body is gonna give you penguin. And the cool thing is, even though we are human, we don't look like penguins, and even if you can't symbolically represent a penguin, if you give an energy or a feeling, most likely people are going to receive that, because at the end of the day, we are energetic beings, humans, and in the same way that you can tell when your best friend or a family member is upset or whether they're happy, it's the same thing when an audience is watching you, you know? In this case, of course, we're practicing dancing and movement more for ourselves. So we spoke about that as well. It's more for our self-practice. More so we can discover about ourselves, get to know ourselves better. But it still applies to even this case, you know? You know, what do we have to say? What do I have to say? Perhaps we can listen to ourselves during the class more, or during when we practice. Is there something that needs attention in our body? Is there an area that needs attention? Is there an emotion that needs our attention that we have maybe been ignoring? Is there an idea that is calling for us, you know? And can we learn something about it through movement and through our own exploration? You know, so it's kind of setting the right intention and working out what we can actually work with that will inform us while we dance and give us more for life as well. And as we become more aware and more conscious of ourselves, the way we move. Actually, I'm going to speak about that later, sorry. But basically, so down to the exercise is... So I asked you guys to look in nature. I'm basically going to give you like a stimulus. In this lesson, it's going to be, we'll go for water. So we'll use water as a source of inspiration, and just allow, your body to react however you want to be. It can be totally figurative and metaphorical, or it can be absolutely literal. Totally up to you. Again, these exercises and these lessons are very general, but they give you a little push to maybe break it down even more in your own practice. I'd say the most important thing is to be really committed. Often sometimes I can kind of be like, oh, this is really stupid, you know. You feel a bit silly, but it's not. You just have to be committed, and you have to be authentic. So don't try and be someone else's version of water, just be yourself. be whatever that is for you. Yeah, so we'll go for water, and then we'll go to the element of earth. The other interesting thing is that in many Eastern practices, the elements are a part of our body, and of course they're a part of nature and a part of our home here on earth, so they're very familiar to us. You know, they're actually in our body as well. Yes, so something else to think about. Alright, let's go for the element of water. I'll give you a whole song. Yes, nice. So how was that? Just reflect to yourself or to me through the screen. Talk to me. Yeah. If you have time, or if you're serious about this, I highly recommend giving it as much time as you can. Because it can take a little while. You get better the more you practice at it. But sort of getting into that zone, or getting into that sort of place of authenticity. Like how I mentioned that your heart is your heart sort of has the image in mind, your head has the image in mind, and your body can effectively communicate that image, you know. And the more you practice, the better you get at sort of embodying that with the whole. For me there, I was going through the image of water on my fingers, water sort of, it made me think of actually how water runs along like a slope and then collects and then eventually becomes a drip, you know. So that's one image I had in my mind, and then it moved to my hips because I know that there's like the water resides in your hips as an element. So that's what I went through. And as well, it's once you even get into that, you go, well, how can you move from one idea of water to another idea of water, you know, and how does that transformation look? And then as well, you can also explore with internalizing that, the feeling of internalizing that, but also being aware that it's also being external. So how do you manage your sort of inner world and this outer world that you're giving? Something to think about. I'm thinking about it a lot at the moment. Let's move on to Earth. So, what's the vibe of Earth? What's the resonance in your body? What does it make you feel? That's it. Let's go. yeah. And how did that contrast? So what was the difference between dancing like it was water and dancing like it was earth? And you know, in the same way that we work on building strength in a muscle on the exterior, this inner work we have to build up and practice too, you know. So sometimes I feel sort of unpracticed if I haven't worked that way in a little while. And this is just one way of working. You know, the inner world is made up of as many parts, you know. And there's many different ways of working with it, and yeah. But I highly encourage you to, yeah, think about that. And I may have already said this, but I guarantee that, you know, the inner, it's just a reminder as well, this is really important, but the inner world is almost always going to inform the exterior. So if there's something you want to change in your movement, you know, the spark for that is almost always going to come from the inside, whether it's a thought or a decision or a choice, you know, or a feeling. Most often a choice. Yeah, so let's get onto the routine. Yep. So this is choreography. Follow along. Yeah. Enjoy. One time. Down. I seem to always do this. Forward, back. Hit your head once. Change your grip. Twice. The left arm goes through. Like this. Down. Shout out electro. Down. Swap. Forward. And then come up. So these arms are doing this, like a figure 8.